careful, Andy West. I might just give you a compliment one day.
You realize with those competitions, you are risking everything.
Let's do this.
The hip-hop dance rhythms of a young generation come to life on screen in Step Up to The Streets. This sequel has a new cast, a new focus, and a new director.
There have been films in the past that really, don't capture the grit of the streets there in terms of the hip-hop dancing. What was it that you really wanted to bring to this film?
Well, we just wanted to bring a different element. That in the first movie was all like air-conditioned and nice in this little, this dance studio, which is great. They were doing a lot of ballet and modern and things like that. But we just wanted to break out. Let's get out of the dance studio. Let's go back to the street, and let's use the dance stuff that we haven't seen in dance movies recently, used in more of an emotional narrative way, like breaking and popping and locking and the sort of street salsa that we have in there.
Fronting a cast of young screen newcomers, Brianna Evigan and Robert Hoffman play two dancers from backgrounds on opposite sides of the tracks.
So he's a player?
Like an all-star.
Morning, sunshine.
What's your deal? Boy band's making a comeback?
Ooh.
But Evigan and Hoffman's characters also share a common love for street dancing.
There's a lot going on here under the radar. I think it's time we form a crew and compete at the streets. Trust me.
Brianna, not a lot of dancers get a showcase like this film is. It must have been a blast for you. What was the best part of it?
Oh, just everything. I mean, we had the best choreographers in the world and 25 of the top dancers in the world. It was like watching them was a dream come true, and it was an honor to work with them.
What was also interesting with this film is the relationship between your character and Robert's. I mean, they share that passion for dance, but there's also a budding relationship as well in this film. How did that work for you throughout this filming?
It worked well. I mean, my character gives Robert a hard time throughout it, but at the same time, I'm totally flirting with him. And I totally want him. You know what I mean? I didn't know you could salsa.
There's a lot you don't know about me, Andy.
How just surprising considering how much you talk about yourself.
Ooh.
For some, the storyline in Step Up 2 really hit home in many ways on a personal level.
Someone else earlier today reminded me that actually parallels my life. I used to be at a fine arts high school, and at night I would go out on the street and train with the hip-hop crew.
Since both Evigan and Hoffman began their careers as trained dancers, authenticity about their craft was a key ingredient for the film.
I was absolutely blown away and very pleasantly surprised when I watched last night how much it did convey the truth of how dancers are in their different elements. You have the privileged crowd that's trained and has their studio, and then you have the less privileged crowd, and sometimes even the more soulful crowd that has to use a basketball court in the blazing hot sun to practice.
I understand that you had to sort of adapt some of your dancing style to the style in this film. How did that work for you?
My style just before had been a little more sexy. We had to try to break some of that down. I mean, by the finale, I was more sexy and had kind of found myself in the movie. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning with the audition scenes and everything, they wanted me to be pretty ghetto and get rid of the girly thing.
You're an amazing little dancer, you know that?
Little.
She just did that for dramatic effect.
It wasn't as intense as it was just fun and wild and exciting during rehearsals. Just all these great minds coming together. Oh, what if I do this? I'll slide through here. I'll come up here and do this. Okay, cool. And then after you guys do this, I want you to do this fun little hand sequence right here. That's kind of how it went. And so it was incredibly fun.
Hoffman says learning the intricate dance choreography for the film was a real collaboration for all.
She has more talent and more conviction than anyone else I know.